Hello and welcome to TEC Bike Parts. As you can see, we've got a new bike in the workshop. It's not the one we're expecting. We're expecting to have the BSA 650 by now, but that has been delayed yet again because apparently there's been a delay on the silver legacy editions that we ordered. I think it's about 9 months ago now, and they're coming last. But anyway, back to what we're doing today. This is the new Super Meteor 650 from Royal Enfield. Obviously it's based loosely on the Interceptor in the fact that it has the same engine, but almost everything else on the bike has been changed. Surprisingly, I thought they'd use a few more of the components, and also I thought they'd use more of the components from the Meteor 350, but again, virtually everything else on the bike's changed. We have had the bike about 2 weeks now. But we waited until the 1st of March to get it registered, so it hasn't really been on the road. We've just been riding it up and down our private road, so we haven't done much in the way of checking things like brakes and suspension and handling and stuff like that. But what we have been doing is a lot of the cosmetic parts on the bike, and I'll take you around the bike now to show you some of the things we've done and some of the things that are available now. And hint at some of the things that we're doing in the future. We have virtually had to make everything again from scratch because virtually nothing that we make fits onto this bike, which is not unusual for bike manufacturers because they don't like you buying a new model and taking your stuff off your old model and putting it on. So there's changed parts just for the sake of changing parts. The oil cooler, for example, we've make an oil cooler cover for the Interceptor and Continental GT 650. Now the oil cooler is the same size. They made a different styled oil cooler on it, but they've changed the mounting points for no reason whatsoever that we can see, other than the fact that they don't want the earlier ones to fit onto these ones, and hence that goes on right around the bike, and it keeps aftermarket suppliers like us on our toes. But generally very impressed with the bike. Like everybody else who's reviewed the bike has said, the build quality is leapt up in standard. I'm hoping that they haven't left the likes of BSA 24 behind on this, because it is a huge leap in quality, particularly around the front end of the bike. Things like the forks, the levers, even things like headlight brackets, etc. There's some areas that still need attention, that they've give them marks for trying, but they haven't still quite got there yet. But generally the fit and finish of the bike is a huge leap, and surprisingly it hasn't really gone up in real world terms over the price of the Interceptor, which if you put this next to the Interceptor, I would say this would cost £1,000 more than the Interceptor. It's that good compared to the Interceptor, just on component and build quality. But what I'll do now is I'll take you around the bike and show you some of the things that we've been working on, some of the things that are available now, and some of the things that we're going to be looking at in the future. First of all, we'll look at the area around the engine. As you can see, they've changed quite a lot of the components around here, and a lot of the colours as well. What I do like is that it actually has metal side panels on as well, which is a good step forward in my opinion over plastic parts. I'm not really a fan of lots of plastic on motorcycles. So they've got good old-fashioned steel side panels on this bike. These covers are an improvement over the Interceptor vastly as well, much more detailed. They still haven't done anything with the clutch arm cover, so that's one of our clutch arm covers on there. Now that is one of the few components that will fit over from the Meteor and the Interceptor. Now they are available in polished, which goes quite well because you have got quite a bit of polished and chrome around, or we do them in black. So you've got black around here as well, so it'll go either or, just whatever your personal preference is. I'm not a great fan of this Teflon frying pan finish on the engine. I think personally this would have been better done in a satin black, because they do have a similar sort of Teflon finish on the frame as well. But again, that's down to personal preference, and maybe it's just trying to change the look of the motor a little bit. But I think when I get the chance, I might do just even the rocker cover in black, just because this looks black, silver, grey. There's too much going on, and shiny. There's too many different colour schemes going on here. So I think if we do it satin black like the cylinder covers, This area here, we're looking at ways of tidying all this up, because I think it looks like they've lost interest with this. This looks like a brake pedal out of a car from the 1970s. It's not great. But anyway, moving further back, the bike comes with two holes, threaded holes in the frame here. They've got a bung in this one, but they didn't even bother putting a bung in that one, so I've just put an M8 screw in there just to stop the dirt and water getting in. There is a drain hole underneath, but it does go right through the bike, and you don't really want any unnecessary dirt and water going in there, because they just look like bare metal on the threads inside as well, so that would be a source of corrosion. So I've just popped that in there. Like the Meteor, I personally find if I'm riding a long time with forward controls, it starts to ache my back a little bit. So I like to have a footrest here as well. Now handily, they've left an M8 threaded hole in there, and we can do the same as what we did with the Meteor. You can put a set of folding pegs in here. They're actually in a much better place than they are on the Meteor 350. All we've had to do is supply a different bolt with their footrest kits. So they're available now. That's available now. Exhaust system. It's very similar to the Interceptor, apart from the angle it comes out at the end here, but they have changed the way that the catalytic converter works in the centre. They've also changed the mounting on the front. They're now using collet type mounting, and they've also deleted the air injection, which I'm surprised they could do on Euro 6, but the engine, because they've got this mountain on the top here now, it doesn't have room for the air injection on the cylinder head, so it looks like that's been deleted. Personally, I think I might make a set of stainless pipes for it, because I think this chrome just looks a bit out of place on the bike. There's very little chrome or shiny on the bike, which is obviously the modern trend, and this chrome exhaust system just seems to hit you in the face. It's not very well executed either, the exhaust system. So that's on my to-do list at the moment, is to make some front pipes up for it. I have, however, made up some mountings to mount our Canon silencers on the back, and they're available now with the special mountings for the bike. Although the bike looks very low, it's not that low, the seat height, and we probably will get asked for people about lowering suspension units. We have sort of basically worked out what we need to put on here, but until we do a bit more road testing, we'll not commit on that one. But it is something we're working on, and will be available soon. But we don't like to put these things out until they've been fully tested. Right, I think that's about it for this area. Like I say, this is handy because it means you can, if you're on a bumpy road or whatever, you can put your feet back, or just change your foot position if you're on a longer ride. And they virtually disappear on the bike. You don't really see them when they're on there. I'll move the camera around the back, and I'll show you what we've done at the back of the bike. So here we are at the back of the bike, and as you can see, there's a vast change going on here. This is the plastic monstrosity that hangs off the bottom on the standard bike, so I've removed all of that, and we've had to tweak the design of our tail tidy a little bit that we make for the Meteor 350. It's basically the same concept, but we've had to do some dimensional changes and mounting changes to it, and also wiring changes. But basically it utilises the standard tail light, the standard number plate light. I have just put a small reflector on there, but we do still supply a bracket where you can mount a larger reflector underneath here if you want to. I have used our hammer indicators and our indicator adapter mountings, just because I think they look much neater than these big plastic ones. Royal Enfield do LED clear lens ones, and I ordered some for the bike, and I was a bit disappointed because they still look very plasticky and cheap. So I've gone for all metal indicators on here, but it's your choice. If you want to fit the tail tidy, you've got the option of mounting them, the standard lights on here, aftermarket lights on here. You can also remove this bracket completely if you want to mount the indicators on the shocks or whatever, but obviously you'd need to modify the wiring slightly to do that. But you've got lots of options there, and it gets rid of this horrible piece of plastic from the back of the bike. But, while I'm here, you can see again that the silencers there look much neater than these humongously big, heavy lumps of drain pipe that they have on. So, I mean, they just seem to have lost interest designing these. By the weight of these, it's not surprising that they're super quiet. They're ridiculously heavy. One of these weighs about the same as what our two silencers do, if not more. While I'm here, I'll let you hear the sound of these, and you'll. It's hard to tell on video what it's like, but you'll get a sense of how deeper a sound. And it sounds very similar to when you put them on the Interceptor 650. There's quite a few videos of these Canon silencers on the Interceptor 650. But this is available now. We've done the changes and we've got all the parts laser cut and made. One of the beauties of manufacturing locally, that we can get onto our suppliers and say, look, we need these in a hurry, can you do them quickly for us? And our laser cutter did these in about 3 days. So great, we can get that sorted straight away. Also, while I'm here, these are carried over from the Meteor 350, which are a huge improvement on the adjusters, that the chain adjusters that the Himalayan and the Interceptor 650 had on, which were absolutely horrendous. Had the threaded bolts sticking out the back. And for the sake of just a careful bit of design thought, they've put those on there, which it just cleans the whole back end up. This as well also gives you a much better view of the rear tyre from behind, which was a shame before, because it's got a lovely big fat 150 section rear tyre on, and it does enhance the back of the bike. Just makes the whole back of the bike look much cleaner and tidier. But as promised, I'll let you hear the silences. So you've got the options on these with and without baffles, but like I say, the video doesn't really do it justice. You have to hear it in the flesh, but it completely changes the whole appearance. Well, not so much appearance, but the stance of the bike when you've got an exhaust that sounds properly on it and not whisper quiet. But again, those are available now. So a quick look at the bar area here. As you can see, the quality is much nicer here now. We did take these rather large chrome mirrors off. Actually, there's nothing wrong with them. You do see a little bit of your arm in them more than I would like to. They should have been a little bit longer if you're going to use that type. But I've replaced them with the alloy bar end mirrors that we do, and you can actually use these inverted or normal way up, because when your arm's on here, you actually see under your arm quite easily. And they're the small-headed ones. If you put the larger ones on, the E-Mark ones, you'll see really clear. Now we also do these in a matching silver finish, because the bike has got quite a bit of silver aluminium on the front here. So we do them in that finish as well, if you want to carry this silver look on as well. But the choice is yours at the end of the day. But the quality, petrol cap, everything is much nicer here. And that's about it. We'll move around to the side now and have a look at that. So on this side of the bike, I haven't done much at all as yet. Obviously I've put the mid-mounted foot peg on, and like I say, these mount in a much better place for height and position than they do on the 350. They're even, they're not offset like they are on the 350. I've put the matching indicators and adapters on the front here. I've also put our bar end mirrors. Now we've had to change the mountings. They have got a special mount, so you don't need an adapter like the Royal Enfield ones do. These will bolt straight on, and we even give blanking plugs for the original mounting points in the kit as well. And also the oil cooler cover. The original oil cooler cover it's a pressed steel affair, which I mean, if they'd wrapped it right round the sides, it wouldn't have been so bad to hide the sides of the oil cooler, which are the ugliest part of it, the ribs up the sides, whereas ours wrapped right round. But, you know, it is what it is. It's just a cover, it's a cosmetic part. But that does come right round the sides, and like I say, we've had to make some small design changes on that as well, but they're now available in the mount on. The foot peg area on this side, we're currently working on this is work in progress around here. This is all still standard here at the moment, but we have been working on various different looks and setups around here, and that'll be coming out when we've got the time to get it developed and finished. And the air filter on these, people will be pleased to know that you don't have to change the air intake cover on these like a lot of the Royal Enfields. They've actually made it so it clips off the cover on the intake. I'll probably do a separate video on that later, as I'm going to do a separate video on performance modifications and other handling modifications as well. I'm trying to keep this one brief to get it out. And I think that's about it for the bike up to now, really. I'll give you a better look at the handlebar area. The levers, the good marks for effort for them, but in production they have sort of missed a little bit of the point on these levers. Great idea to make them adjustable, but it's very, very stiff, the adjuster. There's no way you could turn that adjuster with your gloves on. You almost need a pair of pliers to adjust it, and the adjustment range is very small on it. But yeah, give them marks for trying it. It's coming on, they're improving everything much better than the original fixed levers that they had on. They're moving in the right direction, so I'm not going to knock them too much for that. And generally I'm really pleased with the quality of the bike, particularly the front suspension. To go to shower inverted big piston forks, there's a huge leap over the old 41mm forks, and the LED lighting, again, that's a big improvement over bulbs. But keep watching. If you click on like and follow us, you'll get regular updates what we're going to do with the bike, and hopefully we'll have the BSA soon as well, so you can compare them. Strangely enough, they're both exactly the same price. But anyway, more on that later when the BSA arrives. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you later. Bye now.